the Agents of the Unexplained podcast. From a haunted abandoned asylum to Sasquatch lurking in the dark woods and watching you, and all things unexplained, here are the stories from outside our realm. With your host, Bill Rigby.
Hey, good evening, everybody. I'm just really excited. You guys all heard me been talking the last couple of weeks that I'm going to have Amy Boo on here. She's here. She's not here where I'm, but she's here. You know, for some of you that don't know who she is, she runs the Project Zoo Book. She's part of that, part of the Olympic project out there in the Pacific Northwest. She's a cancer survivor. She's a mother, a grandmother, a certified naturalist, a teacher. This woman's into everything. And top it off, she's a great person. Let me bring her in.
Hello.
How you doing, Amy?
I'm doing well. How are you, Bill?
Oh, I'm stoked for where I'm at. Yeah, no, salt for it. Come on. But like I said, you know, you're a cancer survivor, your mother, your grandmother, you're a certified naturalist, Project Zoo Book, the Olympic project out there in the Pacific Northwest. A teacher. So the one question I need to ask you, how does it feel to be a grandmother?
Oh, it's the best. It's the absolute best thing in the whole world. People tell you that, and you just don't know until it happens, you know. I never realized like how much I knew I would love him, but I didn't know I would love him as much as I love my daughter too. You know.
By the way, co-host Bill Murray.
Hi, Bill Murray.
Amy saying, huh?
Hi, baby. Maybe Linguini will make an appearance.
Yeah, maybe. The pasta cats.
Yes.
But, yeah, I told you I was going to have a secret question for you. That was it.
That's a good one.
Yeah. She was nervous, folks, because she didn't know where I was going with it, and I wouldn't give her no hints. But let's talk about the Olympic project out there first. You know, you had some beautiful pictures in that I've seen and stuff. How was that experience?
Oh, it's just a wonderful place to be. I've been fortunate enough to go out there several times now. I'd love to have a little cabin out there in Washington, but that's not to be so far in my life anyway. But yeah, I used to be part of a different group, and I had decided to just kind of go on my own researching Bigfoot. Mm-hmm. And the day after I made that decision, Shane Corson and Derek Randalls, who head up the Olympic project, asked me if I'd be part of them. And I'm like, heck yes. I did think about it a little bit, but it's a wonderful experience to be out there. I don't know. Do you want me to talk about what the Olympic project is really?
Yeah, yes. It's because some people really don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
Basically, I mean, they do different things, but basically what their big research project has been over the last several years is, and I could talk about this forever, so I'm going to tell you the short version. But basically, there was a surveyor for a logging company out in the Olympic National Forest who was looking at some land that they owned, and they were thinking of clear cutting it. And he came across something pretty fantastic out there in a spot where when you go there today, the Olympic project has keys to a few gates that the logging company owns, but you have to drive and drive, get to the gate, drive, get to the gate, drive down these horrible roads that my car would never make. And then you have to hike to get to where he ended up. but at the tip of some like finger ledges or finger ridges, he found some ground nests and never had seen anything like it before. And he went and told his boss about it. And they have to be careful about what they do, you know, with as fart. Hey, that's me as fart. Hey, we had to get that in here. We had to get that over with. As part of, you know, like just the EPA and everything, you know, having to be careful about what they're disturbing, what
Exactly.
you know, the wildlife and stuff. So anyway, they had brought in a bear specialist. They were not bear beds. Brought in a wood rat specialist, not from wood rats, you know, anything they could think of to try to figure out what was making these nests. And these nests are huge, and they were in different stages of degrading. So they, some of them looked like they were very recent, and some looked like they were years and years old. So something, whatever it was making these nests over a long period of time. Anyway, so, you know, they went to Fish and Game and everything and couldn't figure it out. So the owner remembered that the guy who did his landscaping had a Bigfoot sticker on his truck, which is one of the reasons that I'm always wearing a Bigfoot shirt or hat or something on my truck, because you never know who's going to see it. And he asked him, hey, you want to come and look at these nests? Because, you know, we can't figure out what's making them. And that was Derek Randles, who already headed up the Olympic project itself.
Right.
And kind of went out there, and the rest is history. They found at that original site, they found over 20 ground nests. Some are like, if you see pictures, like you can go to Olympic Project's website, and I think it's still under construction as well, but you can Google Olympic Project Bigfoot, and you can see pictures of these nests. But you know, a grown man can lie down in them, and so could something else bigger than that.
Yeah.
And so they found
that's the thing. That's the thing. You know, I found a nest. Well, my buddy Micah Boring did in Indiana County.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We went on a Bigfoot investigation last fall, I think it was. And because there was a sighting on Wednesday, we were there on Sunday. Went up in the area where she said she saw go up in, and we started researching it. I found a nest, and it's overlooking. It's back far enough that overlooked the road, that they could see something coming up that way from the road, and they could see through the woods in all directions. It was under the canopy, it was wide open. So, and it was huge. It was huge. It was impressive.
Yeah.
That's impressive.
Very impressive.
And I thought of you when we found it because of the Olympic project.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, they found in the point nest that overlooks embankment down to a salmon stream, they found 2 rocks that had grooves on them that something had been hitting them together. There's that means of egress going down to that salmon stream. There's a lot of food sources there.
Right. Yep.
The best guess, and this is just a guess in the Olympic project, none of us say that this is Sasquatch. We don't know. But the best guess is that maybe this is some kind of a nursery or something like that, because of the fact that it's been used over so many years, because of how far in it is and very difficult to get there. Like you have to go up and down these different ridges and almost belly crawl through the huckleberry bushes there.
Yeah.
You know, so that could make sense that it was something like that. And so they've gotten footprints and a lot of audio, and we're still the logging company is still letting us in there. So it's a lot of fun. It's very interesting.
When are you going back?
Oh man, I don't know. I was supposed to go on a dream come true expedition this summer to Alaska, and I'm thinking that that's going to be postponed till next year, just because our guide, who is like one of the best ever, I don't think he can do it this year. I'm not sure, but it
Right.
doesn't. It's going to happen. So there could be a chance I could get out there this summer. We'll see. I'm not sure. I've been
That's-
taking a little bit of rest time. We were talking before we came on here just
Yeah.
about I'd been knocked out by COVID for a couple years, but I'm getting back,
Yes.
feeling a lot better.
Yeah, you look a lot better too.
Thank you.
Yeah, you really do. You got the color back, and I don't know if that's because the school kids are giving you a hard time, or,
Could be.
but no, seriously. And Tater says 2 true ambassadors for Sasquatch research. Thanks,
Aw.
Tater.
Thank you.
Jenny says hi, Amy.
Hi. Mwah.
Uh,
I can't see who it is. Like it all says Facebook user to me.
Yeah,
So-
that's I'm reading it here.
okay.
Monica and
Monica.
Gary Gerhardt.
Hi.
That's my brother from another mother. And Tim Gayhart says hi to us guys too.
Hi guys.
But that's very fascinating. I'd love to make that trip out there one of these years and see that. I really do. I'm 64 years old. I'm not old yet. I'll go hiking. I'll go hiking to get in there. I don't care. No.
It's pretty cool. It's pretty cool. I took a couple of my scientists out there from my other group that I am in, and they were just amazed by these nests and how they were built, and just the whole setup there. It was really
Right.
fascinating to them. So that was one of the times where I was just in awe because they were in awe.
West Virginia Cryptid Strange Encounters. I think that's Les Odell. I hope it is. But if I'm saying it, he goes, I believe Shane said that the huckleberry bush leaves have been used to alleviate pregnancy pains.
Yeah, that's one of the things we talk about a lot in my other group. We talk about different plants, and that's one of the reasons that I became a certified volunteer naturalist, is because I wanted to learn more. First of all, I wanted to learn more about what isn't Bigfoot when you're out there, because I think for all of us as researchers, we should be a little bit hard to impress, because there are a lot of other explanations. But I also wanted to learn more about what could they eat, what, where would they live, that kind of thing. So yeah, that is one of the reasons, but another reason why they believe they may be nurseries, and we're not sure, but that's a prominent theory, is that there were some of the nests were smaller and were raised up in bushes and were poorly made, and that looked a lot like what gorilla mamas do when they have young. They make practice nests with them, and so that was a theory that maybe that's what was going on there. And just the fact that the first thing when I heard about the nests was, could it just be people? Why couldn't it be people? And there are a few reasons why I don't think that it is people. One of those reasons is the fact that these were made over so many years. And they don't have any kind of covering where a human that was living out there, some kind of hermit or something, would have any protection from the elements. Also, if it was a hoax, it would be a really dumb hoax because nobody would be likely to ever find it. So
yeah,
but who knows?
Like the nest I saw, some of the things that was put into that nest, making it around the trees, ain't no human putting it there. I don't care. And my buddy Micah would say the same thing. Me and him both was checking it out. Well, he's the one that found it and called for me to get over there to him. So I went on over, and I'm like, oh my God. And we're checking it out, and it was awesome. It was just awesome. That was not human made. That was not human made.
Yeah, there've been nests found all over the place, really.
Yeah, right.
Not too often, but they have been
Yeah.
found in different places.
Hey, it impressed me. It really did. And I ain't saying Bigfoot made it. I won't say that. I'm like you. We can't say it is doing it. Um, that's like some of these tree structures. I debunk most of them. I really do, because you can. But the ones I can't debunk, I say it's a probable, but I won't say it is.
Right, right.
Not till I see them do it.
You look at the whole area, at the Olympic Project nest sites, you have the nests. You have a lot of unusual audio that can't be attributed to other animals. You have handprints, you have footprints, a lot of hair that's been found that is currently being tested through DNA testing. So hopefully we'll find the answer sometime. And we always say, even if it isn't Sasquatch, it's something valid, something
Yes.
this, and it's something worth looking into.
Yes, very much so. And that leads me up to the other part, in which you got all different types of people involved with this. And that's Project Zoo Book, which is fascinating. I still want to come and be a fly on the wall at one of those meetings. I really do, to hear what's being said. And I told you that all the time.
It's pretty fun. It really is. Yeah, I mean, Project Zoo Book. Oh man, there goes the phone. Sorry everybody, I can't get to it. But can you still hear me okay?
Yes, we hear you fine.
In line for some reason, and it's always a marketer.
Yeah.
But anyway,
it's me calling you, see if you want to talk. No.
It's you. I knew it. But Project Zoo Book and the Olympic Project work together a lot. We have a lot of crossover with their members and do a lot of things together. But basically, Project Zoo Book is my favorite thing. And I am the coordinator of it, one of the founding members. But I always say I'm the coordinator of all the smart people. So I get everybody together. We have a lot of different stuff going on.
Oh, and then no wonder I'm not involved in it. You said smart people. Jeez.
Hey, I'm surprised I'm involved in it. And I'm the one that did it. No, not at all. But no, basically what happened with that is by accident, again, I am the first person to say that a lot of the really cool things I've been able to do has been from luck. A lot of it has then also been from hard work after that luck.
Yes.
So, and sometimes you have to make your own luck. But I had met a young lady who I was talking to through Facebook Messenger. She and her coworkers wanted to go on a Bigfoot expedition several years ago. This was back in 2018, I think. It's been 5 years now. And they were very interested in Bigfoot. And at the time, I didn't know what she did. She just said it was she and her coworkers. Well, found out, after a little while that they are the primate department at a zoo here in the United States.
Awesome.
And it was really exciting because at that time anyway, I didn't know many scientists who were actually like truly interested. Like you can get people who will talk about it, but not a lot of scientists at that time anyway who would take it seriously and who are actually really intrigued with it. So
we still have a bunch that won't.
Right, we still have a bunch that won't. You're right. And so that's why Project Zoo Book has always been a bit on the down low. I always say, for better or worse, I'm the face of it because, I'm a teacher. My school doesn't care. They might think I'm weird, but they don't care if I'm out there talking about Bigfoot. But a lot of our scientists, their superiors would care, because if you have somebody who's like a Maine gorilla keeper, and they speak all over the place about gorillas, when they start talking about Bigfoot, a lot of scientists and not scientists, a lot of people just think when we are talking about Bigfoot that we are out there looking for the leprechaun off of the Lucky Charms box.
Yeah.
They're not
Exactly.
they're not
Exactly.
thinking we're looking for something real.
Well,
So
That's the thing there too, Amy.
yeah,
You know, they don't want to lose their job.
right.
I understand that. I do understand that. But some of these scientists got real high paying jobs. So I understand they don't want to lose it. But I'm crazy. I speak up anyhow. I didn't care what people thought.
Yeah, well, I don't think they care what people think personally, but they care. Yeah, they care about their
Professionally.
job. And it's not even, I mean, some of them could lose their job and some of them could just never get funding for anything else they wanted to study.
Right, exactly. And I understand that.
Yeah, and one thing I've learned is that from these scientists who are very open-minded, some of whom have had experiences with Sasquatch, so they're not just interested, they say they know they're real. They say that there are more scientists than you might think that would be interested in doing some kind of research when it comes to Bigfoot, but they never get funded for something like that. They're just, they are focused on whatever it is they're curious how to do. So,
that's the bad. That's the bad.
What you're trying to do, we always say, and the Olympic Project says this also. Oh, look who's here.
It is Lester the Man.
Hello. He said he wanted to come in here and say hi.
It is Lester the Man.
It is.
He does live.
He is. He's real, right?
I thought maybe you was typing that stuff when he makes comments on my things.
Oh gosh, no! I go ignore.
Like, who is Amy Boo? Or who is Brian Feach?
Oh, yeah, those ones.
And your wife is really fast because she catches birds?
Yeah.
Hey, don't know what I'm talking about.
I know what you're talking about too.
You know about the hummingbird?
Yeah, I saw that. I usually see what he says on everybody's stuff, and I'm just like,
Because I get in trouble most of the time.
Yeah, you do.
he only gets in trouble if he gets me in trouble. Other than that, whatever. I don't care.
But in the Alleghenies, if this bear gets my peanuts this time, I'm shooting it.
No shooting
Just
bears.
letting you know.
We're going up to the Alleghenies tomorrow.
Hey, all I'm going to say, Lester, if that bear gets out, that's a hell of a bear.
Well, I slept the whole time. Well, I was guarding the tent because I don't sleep.
Is it like when we did that camp out together, the way you sleeping, catching flies?
Well, he is the big dummy who left all this food out. You don't
It was
do
the
that up
peanuts
there.
that thing ate.
And it was this bear, Monica and Mona and I woke up and there's this bear eating all these peanuts, like one at a time, and spitting up the shell right outside of his tent.
I saw those pictures and I'm laughing.
Journal people out too, and then they had a lot of stuff happen, so we're gonna go scope it out.
Hey, Lester, everyone's saying hi to you.
Oh, I don't even know how that. I was gonna say shit works, but okay. I don't know how that works, but okay.
Not safe for work.
And it's a happy holiday for today for all my Mexican friends. Thank you.
We're gonna go get some tacos after this.
Sweet. I'm gonna go get a drink at the lodge.
I forget.
Only him.
I know, right? He warned me he was
Joe
going to pop
Kesky,
in.
I love you.
Jeez.
Oh my gosh. I forget what I was talking about now. Oh, I know what we were talking about. I love that man. He's so supportive.
Yeah, he is.
We were saying about scientists and everything, and what we're trying to do with Project Zoo Book and the Olympic Project are to follow in Dr. Bindernagel's footsteps and make the whole subject less taboo. So that's our goal. That's what we always say over and over again. We want it to be soon, hopefully sooner rather than later, that scientists can say, hey, this is a legitimate thing to be interested in. So
let me tell you something. Let me tell you, you guys are trying to do that, but what's really working right now and what really put Bigfoot mainstream is the internet.
Hmm.
Many people are talking, look how much Bigfoot just blown up in the last several years.
That's true, but it's not always in a good way.
No, it's not. Like that one hoaxer that comes down here at Salt Fork.
Yeah, there's a lot of hoaxers that have been at
Yes.
Salt. I know some of them personally. So
Yeah. And I'm going to be seeing a friend of ours, yours and mine, this weekend. He's here. I'm going to see if I can get him on the podcast. When all of us was at that camp out, shortly after I had my experience, and you asked me to speak about it, and it's like, okay, I'll get it. I'll try to get it out there. But the person that got up very next and talked about what happened with him, I put my head down and I'm listening. I start crying because Joe Kesky,
yeah.
what happened with him compared to what happened to me. And I'm thinking how close I was to mine and where his was at come charging at him. I could be dead.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
not afraid of nothing. And that got me. That got to me. Joe's experience really, really got to me.
I think it's gotten to anybody who's gotten to hear it. He's one of the people, I still to this day, no matter how much time I spend on this and how many years I've been doing it and everything, I'm still not officially an elder yet. I hear.
Yeah.
Long
Yeah.
story.
Yeah.
That's because I point at Bigfoot. There he is, right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Anyway, long story. But I still say that I'm not somebody who's 100% convinced about it. Like there are still days where I wonder, like, am I chasing nothing? Is this even real? Because I've had some experiences, but never a smoking gun experience. But when you hear somebody like Joe Kesky or Shane or just a lot of people, or these hunters, I do a lot of, I go to a lot of different sports shows, outdoor shows where I, talk to hunters who have seen this and it's changed their lives. It's hard to listen to those stories and say, oh, they're just making it up. I can't say that. I don't think it's true.
I was at the one with you in Clearfield with the people coming up, telling you about it. And I'm just sitting back like, wow, that's neat. And then someone else came up and you have you had any kind of experience with Bigfoot? And they start talking. And it's like, okay. And some were, you just wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah. You make you really wonder if they were actually seeing something or they're making that up, but you want to believe them.
Right.
Now, I took a report from Mercer County, PA, here last fall, and this is very interesting because I posted on the Mercer County Legend, Lore, History Facebook page. And it's a great page. And she said, okay, I had a sighting. My parents told me I'm not allowed to talk about it. She's messaging me this. I says, okay. How long ago was this? She says, well, I was a teenager and we coming back from skating in February. And it was on Route 58, right near the pipeline, the pump house for the gas. I know exactly where she's talking about. I says, okay, what was this? 1962. And I went, wow. 1962, it crossed the road in front of her. and her cousins. They went home. She was telling her parents, they said, you didn't see nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't tell nobody. She talked to the farmer behind their property. He said, yeah, I've seen him about 3 times and people call me crazy, so I'm telling them about it. 1962. That's before the P&G.
Right.
And I'm like, I grew up thinking everything's out west, not here. In 1962, I was 3 years old. That just totally blew my mind. But she says, get the word out there. Share it.
Right.
So I do. You know, it's just awesome that the reports that we can get. And I learn a lot from these reports. You know, now I can see how you keep things kind of close to your chest on all of them. Has any of them really affected you badly?
Like stories that I've heard?
Yes.
Yeah, the only ones I keep close to my chest are just if somebody asks me to. You know, I'm happy to share things with anybody if I have permission to, but I do have a lot of people, especially where I go, because I don't do so many Bigfoot events anymore. I love them, you know, well, some of them.
Right.
Some of them not so much. But you know, and I think they're fun to do, but I've kind of found a little niche, however you say it, at these outdoor shows where I'm getting stories that people have never told before a lot of times. And so a lot of those hunters are not people that want their story to be out there. They're more private about it. Like they might pull myself or Tina or whoever's with us to the side and tell the story. So if they say not to, I won't. And I get flack for that. You know, people will be like, oh, she doesn't really have any stories. She's just saying that. And I'm like, yeah, well, no. I call myself the world's worst Bigfooter sometimes because I never find anything myself, but I'm not going to lie about it. So I try. But anyway, yeah.
You got to be truthful. You got to be truthful.
And I have had some things, you know, but I'm not somebody who I go out and have something happen all the time because it just doesn't. But yeah, I have some that really affected me, you know, after I was told these stories because I could see how they affected other people. One of them, I'm just seeing what they said. Everyone had to Salt Fork. Yeah, I'm going to be up in Alleghenies. So
She's going the other way.
Yeah, I'm going kind of far away. Long story again. But one of the stories that I tell often when I'm asked that, you know, what's a good story, is I talked and I interviewed a man who was a a foreman of a construction crew out near Cook Forest, not in Cook Forest, but nearby in Pennsylvania. I do, even though I live in Ohio, I do most of my research in Pennsylvania for different reasons, but I live very close to Pennsylvania, which is the biggest reason. Anyway, he said that he had this experience, and so I came out with a friend who is a bear biologist from Canada. Went out to hear his story. So we met him and his wife and their dog at the site of where this happened. And he was telling us that what he was there for was his crew was taking down a small water tower. This was in February of that year. And they had to melt the ice in it so that they could get the water out of there before they could disassemble it. So he was taking the night shift that day or that night, and all he had to do was sleep in his truck and watch this tower like every half hour. He had an alarm on it. I can't remember if it was his phone or his watch, but he had an alarm that would go off every half hour, and he would look and make sure this generator that was throwing heat up under the tower was still going. So that's all he had to do. So he said he was wrapped in all these blankets and sleeping bags because he didn't want to run his truck all night. And the alarm would go off, he'd look, and then it would be fine. And he said one time he was woken up and it wasn't the alarm, but something shoving his truck. So something is, it's dark, middle of the night, shoved his truck, and he woke up and he could hear something walking. He could hear footsteps. It was loud enough, like through the closed truck, to hear that. And he was trying to get out of all of his blankets and everything, threw his phone over onto the passenger side floorboard, as he was trying to get out of there. And he looked up, and I'm really bad at distances, but it was not far from where his truck was to where the water tower was not that far. I want to say 30 feet, but I could be way off. It wasn't that far. He looks up at the water tower, and in the light from the flames, standing under this, next to a tree, but like under these tree branches, was a Sasquatch. And he said there's no doubt in his mind what it is. He's worked in the woods his whole life. It was not a bear. It was not a person. He's looking at it and like trying to comprehend what he's seeing, because he was not a footer person, right? And he moved trying to reach over to get his phone. I don't know, to take a picture or whatever. And the movement, he thinks, made it look back, and he said that it turned and looked at him. So at that point in his story, I get my friend, the bear biologist, to go over to where he said it was standing, because she's about like 6 foot tall. So she's pretty tall. And she went and stood there, and she did the movement then of, being on her profile and then turning so that you would see, the shoulders,
right,
how wide the shoulders are. And when she did that, this man started crying. And we were there not too long after this had happened. It was a while, but not years.
Yeah.
And he wasn't like bawling or anything, but he was crying and very upset. And his dog was jumping on him and whining and trying to get away from his wife, who had the leash. And he's just like, I just can't believe how big it was, in comparison to.
Exactly.
And so he went over to he walked away a little bit to compose himself. And I'm feeling bad because my intention is never to make anybody upset. Right.
Right.
But his dog's still crying and all of that. And I was asking his wife, a little bit about what, her part in this experience. And she said that he had called her once he could and said, what he had seen, and was just hysterical. Came home, and she looked me in the eye, and she's like, Amy, this man has never missed a day of work in his life. He has never not been there. And she said he couldn't go back to work for several days because he was so scared of it. And something I hear over and over again is that people are afraid of something that shouldn't be real. It didn't hurt him.
Exactly.
It didn't look like it was going to hurt him, but it just shouldn't be there. And so when he came back, we talked some more. But the reason that one affected me so much is that I'm standing there listening to all of this. And I think it was Les that commented earlier that you kind of start to recognize BS when you hear it.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
I'm a teacher, so I feel like I'm pretty good at that. But I believed him. And it wasn't just that, like, he seemed so sincere, but his dog, the reaction that dog had, if this man was like fake crying or faking those emotions, I don't think the dog would have been as upset as it was.
Exactly.
And so it was that whole experience really, like, those are the things when I do have one of those days where I wake up and I'm writing my book, or I'm going to get another report and I don't feel like it, or, it can be very exciting, but it also takes a lot of time and it takes money. And and just gas money, or whatever.
Yeah.
And you just wonder, is this doing anything? Is this doing any good? But those days I start feeling that I remember stories like that, I remember.
That's the thing. That's the thing. You catch that story there. That's like Joe's story.
Yeah.
No, I know that was real. And I know how he described it, and it really affected me.
Yeah.
It really did. And that, after that camp out, I got home and I'm sitting there thinking about it for several nights, thinking, damn, that's unreal. That's just unreal. And I know he was telling the truth.
Do you want to hear a funny story about Joe's story?
Yeah. Oh, here we go.
This is just such a big dummy that I am. So no, I agree. Like, his story still affects me to this day.
Mm-hmm.
But when I heard it, I was still pretty new at all of this. And I knew that I didn't live far from where he had that happen. So I'm like, I want to go there. He's like, go, I'll tell you how to get there. I'll tell you where it is. I'm like, okay. So I go there. It was me, my ex-husband, and our daughter. I'm thinking she was like, I don't know. I can't do math right now, but she wasn't little, but she wasn't like a teenager really either. Somewhere in the middle there, I think.
Right.
Anyway, so we're walking along the train tracks that this happened near, and we get to the little piece of woods where it happened, and it wasn't even dark out. It was like maybe dusky. I don't know. And we just hear this noise, and I'm thinking, oh, I'm good. This is great. I'm calm. Everything's fine. But we hear this noise, and I'll tell you what, like, I can't run well. I ran down those train tracks, and like, I finally kind of stopped, and I'm like, I left my kid back there. I mean, she was with her dad, and I'm figuring she's following me, but still, I'm like, I'm the worst mother ever. But I got so scared of it, and it was like a deer.
Oh,
but I just had his story in my head. Probably why people say that Amy Boo runs from Bigfoot, but that was just once.
Oh my God!
And I did it from Bigfoot. I ran from a deer, so there.
Well, like with my sighting, Debbie Preggy and Mike Bennett were a little ways behind me, not that, but a little ways, and I ran backwards to him. This old man can run backwards without falling down.
That's even better.
Oh, and it was just getting dark, and all I could think of is get some lights on there so they can see it. They're too far away to see it. And I'm going, lights. And Mike's trying to figure out, what the hell is he saying?
That's funny.
He even said that at my camp out here a couple of weeks ago. And he says, I couldn't figure out what the hell he's saying. All of a sudden it dawned on me lights, so I put the spotlight on him.
Oh, gosh, that's so funny.
And Mike goes to him, I go, did you see? Mike said, I saw Bigfoot's ass. What? He said he was running away. I got to see his ass.
That would be a good.
He brought me down because I was up here in fear. Yeah, but that brought me down. He just threw me out. He threw me for a loop. But experiences are crazy. It affects people differently, and that's what I tell everyone. And my wife's still trying to deal with. She saw one a couple weeks ago here at Southport, but not the same area I was, just at the handicap area.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, next person says you got to get a picture of one. I'm kicking them where it counts. Because
she has a good point, though. Like, I was up on the Scenic Elk Trail. I had driven that by myself a couple years ago, and I was trying to take pictures. So I was at one of the scenic overlooks out in PA, and I had just had my phone to take pictures of the overlook, and I put it in my pocket, and then I turned around, and I hear something, and out of the tree line and the bushes and stuff is a black bear. So it comes out and it comes toward me, and it's standing right in front of me, just a few feet away from me. There's nothing I can do. I'm stuck. And the last thing I was going to do is move my hands down to my pocket to take a picture of it. Because one thing is, like, I know black bears don't normally harm you, and I've never had one try to, but they're still wild animals, and they're scary with big teeth and everything. And I wasn't expecting it, so I was not thinking about getting a picture of it, and you're scared. At least I was. People are like, what would you do if you came across a Bigfoot? And I'm like, probably pee my pants and maybe faint. I don't know. I mean, until it would happen, you don't know. But
I damn near did.
So I don't have any qualms about saying that. I mean, I'm a human being, and I don't think that I'm super tough. I think I'm brave because, to me, the old saying that being brave is being scared and doing it anyway. So you and I are both brave, but it doesn't mean I'm not still scared.
And believe I realized after my sighting that I'm not superhuman, because that's the first time I actually got scared like that. I got startled, but I was never scared of anything.
It is scary.
So, and I'm going to put point blank, 2 different assholes. So I would have got a picture. I'm not thinking about a picture. I'm 15 feet away from this thing.
Right. No.
All I'm thinking about is getting away from it.
Right.
And my heart's coming out of my chest.
Right.
When I was on a Bigfoot Odyssey with Daniela, a Sasquatch Odyssey with Daniela, and one question she asked me is, if you ever have another sighting, how do you think you're going to react? I really don't know.
I don't know.
I want to say I'm going to be braver. I'm not going to run up and want to shake hands. But I don't know. It might affect me again that way.
Right.
I've seen things on, is that mine or am I getting feedback in my head? I got on thermal and on night vision, I've seen them. That look like them. Okay, I'm not saying 110% sure.
No, I get it. I get it.
Yeah, but the thing is, I don't know how I'm going to react.
No.
And everyone says that won't bother them a bit. They're going to be fine. My friend Tim and Renee, they had several encounters, and they got pictures, and damn good pictures. But they've been going to that area for a long time, and it's not pareidolia you're looking at, and it's awesome. And Debbie Craig actually was at that area, her and Diana Dunn with Renee, and took a video and pictures of the female.
Wow.
Right. But Debbie was told to go back and get another picture in that area and make sure it wasn't a stump, but it was moving. Another one saw it moving.
It's always a good idea to go back and do that, though. Then you can.
It is.
Naysayers.
When you got 4 other witnesses seeing the same thing and getting different pictures of it, I'm sorry, I don't want. If it's just that one time, then go back the next day about the same time and get a picture again. I agree with that, but not when there's witnesses and they got pictures.
No, I hear you.
Hey, thank you, Les. You have a good evening too, brother.
Hey, Les.
That's one guy. I call him the ultimate researcher.
Oh, he's great.
He is. I got to get his new book. He got a new book out. I got to get it.
I'm not
Yeah.
at the conference unless I'm in Youngstown.
Yeah. She don't want to be here with me. She's afraid I get her drunk or get Lester drunk.
Yeah.
But no, we're here. Yeah. Yeah, I'm here as a vendor and I got product to sell. I got shirts, hats. I got my agent's coffee. My wife has some jewelry she's selling. But I'm here to hear the experiences. I ain't really worried about selling a damn thing. I want to hear the experience so I can learn from them. And the last 2 years, I learned so much, from everybody. Yeah, Les, I might be the bad influence. Oh, yeah. Wait, Tim Red did go back to take pictures the next day of that area, and there was nothing there.
Good.
Because I got upset when that person said that.
Oh no, I
It's
get
like-
you. I mean, you have all those witnesses. I get it. You think that'd be good enough, but it never is good enough for people. So I think
No.
it's always a good idea to get as much as you can.
Yeah.
And who
So-
cares what people think anyway?
Exactly.
Bigfoot ain't real. You're all crazy.
He says
Hey.
that to everyone he loves.
I'm going to bring over about 6 toddlers to paint them up.
He'll do it. He says that, right? But then if we go somewhere, he's the one that will be talking for hours about Bigfoot to people. So I'm like, okay, you can pretend you don't believe
Yeah,
or
yeah.
that you're not interested at least.
At Clairfield, he's telling you, no, I don't believe, but I'm with her. Nate, blah, 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 blah.
But then he talks about all of it. I know.
Yeah,
Yeah, you know what? We started dating, and he had never told me that his grandpa had an experience,
Uncle.
and his uncle. Well, your grandpa too at the farm with the footprints and stuff.
Oh, my uncle.
And then his uncle was supposedly saw one at the old Pittsburgh airport running across the tarmac, and it was like in the news and stuff that people saw it from.
what are you waving your hand up for?
What are you doing?
I was giving you rabbit ears, dog.
Oh, okay. You're
Yeah.
good.
Yeah.
You're good.
But
Like,
no, I heard something about that one.
Yeah, from when was that, Lester? Like the 70s?
Yeah, it's in a book. I have it.
It's in a
here.
book. So I was like, you
Yeah.
didn't tell me you have Bigfoot in your
Mysteries of
family.
the Unexplained.
So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, and he wouldn't tell you at first.
No.
Knowing you're Bigfoot
Like,
Amy.
from the first time. Well, we went to
She's
school
crazy.
together a long time ago, but when we re-met, he knew all
Yeah.
about that I like Bigfoot. So it's his own fault for getting involved.
And he says you're crazy,
Right?
right?
Mm,
But if you're crazy, what's he doing with you? He got to be
Right.
I don't
crazier.
know.
See? You got a good point.
Yeah, I'll ask Beth next time I talk to her.
She'll tell you I'm crazy. But that's for damn sure. But, oh, Jesus. Thanks, Larry. We did that. I'm still getting 6 toddlers to paint them up.
You should, as you should.
Like
He'll
that
let 'em.
camp out. Those kids, yeah, it would.
Yeah. He's a good
When
guy.
that person
Big
started
time.
having me, I'm like, what the hell? He told me he lets them do it. And then I see him doing it. I went, he's so good with the kids. And he's so,
He's so good with them. That's one of the reasons I fell in love. How he treats kids and old
Yeah.
people.
yeah. And he's such a rough exterior, but you see that, it's like,
Yeah.
that don't fit him.
No, he's a super guy. He really is.
Yes, he is. And, I got a lot of respect for Lester. He's a hard worker.
Mhm.
And he puts up with you. So, you
Right.
got to respect him.
Right? Right?
But no, seriously. He is a good guy. And Corky says hi to you and me.
Hi, Corky.
Unfortunately, I'm not going to get to the place this Memorial weekend for his little cookout. I was there last year. I had a great time. We had a great time there. And, of course, Monica's laughing at Lester, too.
Monica has to put up with me complaining about Lester, so she gets to laugh at him as much as she wants.
Monica's been a big supporter of me, and I appreciate it. I really
Monica's
do.
awesome. Monica you're talking about how Jamie and Jenny are your mentors. Monica's one of mine. I mean, she is a hidden gem in this whole Bigfoot craziness. Just the places she's been, the knowledge that she has.
Yes.
She's something else. She's somebody I admire very much.
You know, and when you guys came to my conference, you don't know how that hit my heart. It really did, seeing audience, because I really missed audience.
Yeah, you were excited to see you.
And I
great conference. Your conference was amazing. You did a great job.
It wasn't just me, Amy. It's the
I know
speakers, the vendors. You know, I promoted it, yes, but it wasn't for them and their presentations and everything, and the vendors the way they were. It wasn't.
I know that, but you're the one that worked really hard to get it all put together. So don't sell yourself short.
I'm not, and I'm working on year 2 already, which is going to be March 30th next year. You better be there.
I'll be there.
I'm just still totally in awe at the support it had and the amount of people that were there. You know, it
was fun.
I ran the whole time. Well, that one time you told me, go ahead, just sit there. I need to relax. You know, that.
You don't do a lot of relaxing when it's your thing. I get it. That's why I don't do a lot of them anymore.
Yeah. I'm asked to do a couple other ones. No, I can't. No. I'm only doing the one, and that's it.
Right.
We're done.
There's another really good conference coming up in a couple weeks. Is
Triangle.
Tater's Triangle Conference in Coshocton. If there's anybody listening that wants to see a really good, well put together conference, it's a lot of fun. That's out on May. What is it? I will look. May 21st, Sunday.
Yeah, because
camping and doing stuff.
May 13th, I'm going down to Morel in Dunbar, PA. To help support them. I'm not vending or speaking or anything. I'm just going down to help vend. Mm-hmm. I'm going to be at the Butler Paranormal Conference vending there on the 20th. I'm going to try to come to the Triangle. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm too damn tired. I don't know.
We get
it.
I'm sure he understands. Get tired and have things to do.
Yeah.
You coming out to Monster Fest in Canton in June? Maybe.
I'm going to try.
I get it. You can't do everything. Don't even try to do everything. You can't.
No, you can't. And it's hard. And I've been asked to do several other events, and I had to turn them down. It's like, I just can't do this. You know, I don't want to get burned out, number one. And you know how that goes.
Yeah.
Number 2, I need time for me.
Yeah.
Take
yourself.
Yeah. And
ignore the drama. Keep going.
My one mentor, she came and did a Reiki session on me. And she goes, you need self-healing, self-love, meditate, do it for you. You need your time.
Yep, you do.
Jenny.
Yep.
And she's 110% right.
She is.
Yeah. So next year, I'm not going to do as much.
Like we were talking before we came on the air, find what you really love and stick with that.
Exactly. And that's exactly what I'm doing.
And don't be afraid to say no. What is Monster Fest? I just saw somebody. Seth Breedlove and Small Town Monsters is putting on their first Monster Fest in Canton. It's the first weekend of June. that Saturday, and it's supposed to be super fun. I'm going to be a speaker
Yeah.
there, but that's not why you should come.
Yeah.
It's just going to be a lot of cool people, a lot of cool vendors, and a good time.
And I think it's going to be a big event. I really do.
Yeah, I do too. I'm so excited about it because,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like finally there's going to be something in Ohio that, you know, besides the Triangle Conference, that's going to be really worth going to. So I'm
Right.
excited about that.
Yes, and that's the thing. You know, even though I call my conference the Penn Ohio because we're right on the line.
But you're over
Yeah.
in PA, so I didn't just besmirch you.
Yeah. No, you didn't.
That's used to that word. No, your conference is amazing. I really loved it. Your conference is like what a conference should be. You know, it just was good people, good speakers.
Yeah.
It was really fun.
I still got people talking about James Krug and
Mhm.
the Neil Armstrong conspiracy.
Yeah.
And that, yeah. And now this is a science teacher that runs a planetarium,
Yep.
and he'll cover both ends. He don't
Yep.
care. He goes with the facts too. And so he's such a young man doing this. And it is cool. And he's such a very well spoken person with it.
Mhm.
And I couldn't thank him enough for being there.
Yeah.
And then, you know, Brian and Terry with the Shenango Valley Dog Boy.
That was so interesting.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
were in the front row being their fangirls.
Yeah.
Watching Jamie and Jenny,
Yeah.
but they were
Yeah.
all good.
And I'm still upset because I wanted to sit and watch Jamie and Jenny's one. And I kept getting
Big
pulled
press
away.
Dance. Yeah.
Yeah. But we're doing a camp out at the group camp area again in September 7th through the 10th here at Saltport. We're going to be with Ohio Bigfoot Project, Mike Hartman, Tim and me, Ohio Bigfoot researchers, and Amy Copeland's Monroe County.
Yeah,
Bigfoot
I was
Vegas.
sad because that's the same weekend as my Mill Creek thing I have to do. So,
Yeah. So,
oh, well, these days I'll get camping with you.
yeah. I see Mike planned it. And I'm helping him with it. Mike's been a godsend to me too. You know, he's helped me a lot. And he was my MC at the event.
Yeah, he did a good job. That was fun.
Yeah. And that boy loves to talk too. So and Jamie and Jenny's coming to it. They're going to do that plant talk there. Should give a
Cool.
demonstration. I'm like, finally, I'm not going to get pulled nowhere because I'm sitting right there. I'm going to see this.
Yep.
But anyhow, it's a few minutes after 8, Amy. I know you want to go for tacos and margaritas.
I'll probably get one taco and fall asleep. So,
Yeah. Oh, here we go. Yeah.
end of
Yeah.
the school year. It's the end of the school year. It's kicking my butt.
Yeah. Hey, how many more days to school?
Well, since you ask, I think I only have 10 days left with the 8th graders. And then 5 more with the rest of the kids because they get out earlier.
Oh, no.
What?
No. I think my grandkids got 21 days or 25 days.
I
in
might
that
have
area.
more. I might be wishful thinking that, but I'm thinking.
But I think you guys started school
I have
before
more than
ours.
that. I think. Oh, I have more than that. I'm wrong,
Oh, no.
but I'm not counting Memorial Day and stuff. So, 8th
Okay,
graders,
good.
I love them, but man, toward the end of the year, especially, they are ready to get out of there because they know like their testing and everything's done, and they just want to go to high school and get away
Yeah.
from us. So it's
Yes.
it's hard.
Yeah. But hey, I want to thank you. It's been
Thank you for
fun.
having me. It was very fun.
I'm glad you were able to do it, Amy. Yeah, I really am. It made me happy when you said yes.
I'll let
Right.
you know if I find anything up in the Alleghenies this weekend.
Yes, please let me know. And
Okay.
I'll let you know how everything goes down here
All
this
right.
weekend. I'm pumped up because I'm going to get hear a lot of stories. That's the
You
main
have
thing.
a good time, and I hope you hear the best stories.
All right, and you have a good night. And let me bring up my outro.
All right.
All
Bye,
right.
everybody.
Bye now.
Bye.
This has been an Agents of the Unexplained original podcast. Like us on Facebook, subscribe and view on YouTube, and please visit our store link in the bio. Thank you for listening, and remember that paranormal is the